Imagine it's 1885, a quiet Texas night. You're a young servant girl sleeping in your tiny backyard shack. The door is locked, windows bolted. Suddenly, a shadow moves in the dark. No sound, no broken glass, just an axe swinging. By morning, your body is dragged outside, head split open, and the killer has vanished like smoke. This wasn't one murder. This was the beginning of a year-long nightmare that terrorized an entire city. They called him the Servant Girl Annihilator. And tonight, you're going to discover why even the police thought he was supernatural, why the murders suddenly stopped on Christmas Eve, and the shocking final twist that might reveal who he really was. If you think you know true crime, you don't know this one yet. Stick around till the end. Trust me, what you're about to hear is 100% true. No Hollywood exaggeration. 4 years before Jack the Ripper terrorized London, a killer was already turning Austin, Texas into a city of fear. He murdered at least 8 people, mostly young black servant girls, with an axe, in their own beds, while doors stayed locked. Newspapers called him the Intangible Nemesis because he slipped through walls like a ghost. Writer O. Henry, yes, the famous short story guy, even nicknamed him the Servant Girl Annihilator. By the end of 1885, Austin had armed vigilantes on every street, curfews at sundown, and 400 innocent men arrested. Yet the killer was never caught, officially, until now. Let's go back to December 30th, 1884. Austin was booming, 23,000 people, new Capitol building going up. But behind the big houses lived the servant girls in tiny shacks. 25-year-old Molly Smith worked as a cook. That freezing New Year's Eve night, she went to sleep. Next morning, her employer finds a blood trail in the snow. Molly's body is lying behind the outhouse, skull crushed by an axe, body dragged outside, sexually assaulted, stabbed repeatedly. Her boyfriend Walter Spencer was also attacked but survived, barely. Police found the axe, still bloody, but no footprints leading away. The killer had simply disappeared. The city shrugged it off as a one-time horror. They had no idea. It was only the beginning. May 1885, Eliza Shelley, another black cook, head split almost in half while she slept. May 23rd, Irene Cross, 33, attacked with a knife in bed. She looked scalped. August, 11-year-old Mary Ramey is snatched from her mother's side, axe to the head, dragged out. September 28th, Gracie Vance and her boyfriend Orange Washington, the only male victim, are both axed to death in their shack. Gracie's head was nearly severed. Each time, locked doors, no forced entry, victims dragged outside, brutal overkill. Newspapers screamed, "Is it a man? Or something worse?" People started whispering voodoo and ghost killer. The city lost its mind. Men patrolled streets with guns. Women slept with axes under their pillows. Then came the twist nobody saw coming. On Christmas Eve 1885, December 24th, the killer struck 2 white women from wealthy families in one night. Susan Hancock found in her backyard, head split, lumber placed over her body to hold her down, sexually assaulted. Just blocks away, Eula Phillips, 20 years old, same fate. For the first time, the victims weren't poor servant girls. The entire city panicked. If rich white women weren't safe, nobody was. Husbands of both women were arrested immediately. James Phillips and Moses Hancock charged with murdering their own wives. But here's twist number 2. The evidence didn't add up. Both men were acquitted or cases dropped. Meanwhile, the real killer had vanished again. No more murders, ever. Police were clueless. Only 4 officers for the whole city. They arrested hundreds, but the killer kept striking. Some papers even joked he could walk through walls. The fear was so real that people left Austin in droves. And then, silence. The murders stopped as suddenly as they started. For over 130 years, the case stayed officially unsolved. But wait, what if I told you modern investigators found a suspect with smoking gun evidence? Fast forward. In February 1886, Just weeks after the last murder, police shoot and kill a 19-year-old black cook named Nathan Elgin. He was attacking a woman with a knife in a saloon. During the autopsy, doctors discovered something chilling. Elgin was missing the little toe on his right foot. Why does that matter? Because at multiple crime scenes, the killer left a clear barefoot print with only 4 toes. Elgin worked as a cook right near several murder locations. Geographic profiling, psychological profile, and physical evidence all match perfectly. And here's the craziest part. After Elgin died, the servant girl murders never happened again. Some historians and criminologists now believe he was the Annihilator. But because he was already dead, the case was never officially closed. America's first documented serial killer, taken down by his own crime. Some people even whispered back then, could this same killer have sailed to London and become Jack the Ripper 3 years later? Same brutal style, same targeting of low-class women, same axe/knife overkill. Coincidence? Or did the Annihilator simply change countries? We'll never know for sure, but the timing fits. Today, the Servant Girl Annihilator case is Austin's oldest unsolved mystery. Even though the evidence points strongly to one man, 8 lives brutally ended, a city forever scarred, and one killer who became a legend because he was never named. If this story gave you chills, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Drop in the comments. Do you think Nathan Elgin was the killer? Or was it someone else? Maybe even the Ripper? Next time, I'll bring you another forgotten horror from history that YouTube barely talks about. Until then, lock your doors, because some killers still walk among us.